put out a graphic novel. Like I think Gods by Hickman could have been a graphic novel at first.
Yeah, things like that, like big special projects like that.
So, anyways, Brubaker and Phillips are back on a book. It's a must get. It's coming out on the 27th of August. So if you guys are interested, definitely get a shot at. If you haven't read Criminal either, it's one of the best crime series I've ever read in my life. So
and timely here because I think the Amazon show will be debuting around this time.
It will be, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So very timely.
Indeed. The next book that we do have is the deluxe of Die, 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 a book that I remember that was coming out in singles and then it just stopped for whatever reason. And I guess they never decided to get back to it. But Robert Kirkman is obviously back with Scott M. Gimple co-writing this story with Chris Burnham and Nathan Fairbairn. Colors coming out on the 20th of August. This is at $49.99.
Now, I have let my personal taste of Robert Kirkman comics be very public on the show before, but I do love Chris Burnham's art. And this seems like just a fun, bombastic, don't take too seriously type of comic. Have you read this?
I've read the first like 5 issues and then I never bothered getting past it, but I do love Chris Burnham's art.
Yeah. So let me know in either you or in the chat if, given my proclivities to Robert Kirkman, should I give this a shot?
Should they give this a shot? Hey, there's nothing wrong with jumping into the fire, James. We do have like 10 publishers to talk about.
You gotta poke through them.
We do. The next book we have is Monstrous, Volume 3 by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. I made the, I think, erroneous mistake of mistaking Marjorie Liu and Mariko Tamaki on Jess's stream a couple of weeks ago. But in disregard to whatever that is, anyways, $49.99. July 23rd is going to be the release date for this, collecting issues 36 through 54 of this Everything Award winning series.
Yeah, and speaking of Jess, this is like one of his favorite comics ever, so I know he'll be on board. I've yet to give this a shot. I will one day. I don't know. It hasn't really struck a nerve with me in making me want to try it right away, but I know the art looks gorgeous.
Yeah,
so.
I love Sana Takeda, and I do like Marjorie Liu's writing from Marvel a lot. So yeah, this is definitely a plus on the list. Did this go? Yeah, this is weird because we went live back at 9:09. It was public on YouTube. I don't know. I will have to check. I have no idea actually what just happened.
Yeah, that is weird because the countdown happened. I just got a notification 2 minutes ago.
Interesting. That's so weird.
So Bunk might have missed our Celtics talk.
It would have, but
Boston sucks. Oh, sorry.
I blame StreamYard for this. Maybe there is perhaps a bug with StreamYard.
Maybe when it uploads later, the intro will be on there.
Yeah, I probably will. Because it says we've been live for 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm assuming this is just a StreamYard thing. So apologies there in the chat.
You didn't miss any of the comics we're talking about. I think those were all on here. So
yeah, we got Knives, we got Die, 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 Monstrous. Obviously, the big one being Brubaker and Phillips are back together. And for all of you Ghost Machine, Jeff Johns fans out there, he is out with Rook Exodus, Deluxe Hardcover Volume 1, which Omar got to announce a couple of months ago, and I also got to edit and talk with the Ghost Machine people about. This is the first 6 issues of this brand new series from the Unnamed Universe, which is part of the same universe as Geiger and Junkyard Joe and Redcoat. Jason Fabok, who illustrated Detective Comics, Justice League with Jeff Johns, is on this project. This is $39.99, coming out on the 29th of October. So this is a later one for this, but yeah, I will definitely be buying it.
So this is the third of the hardcovers they've come out with, right?
Yes, the first 2 were Geiger and Junkyard Joe.
Right.
So.
And then there's a little bit of a bump up in price. Those were like $34.99, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 6 issues.
Geiger was $29.99 and then Junkyard Joe was $34.99 to my knowledge.
Oh, so it's $5 bump up in price every time they come out with a new volume. Okay.
Yeah.
So volume 10 will be like $400.
$5 increase.
My math is not right there. So this is 6 issues. How many pages is this? Do you know?
This is the same size as the regular trade paperback of Rook Exodus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they're like oversized issues or if they're like standard 22-page issues or.
No, they're your standard, but I think the difference between what Ghost Machine is doing, they're giving their artists like a headshot to finish some of their issues earlier. Like for example, with Rook Exodus, I think there's only going to be like 6 to 8 issues that come out a year.
Okay.
So the schedule is going to be varying on some of, well, everything.
Oh, because they're okay, so they're wanting the artists to have enough time to keep the same artist on every project.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Okay. Yes, it did, Bunk. I know it. I watched it happen. It would be great if there was a way for the Knicks and the Celtics to lose.
Hey, I agree, and the way to do that is have the Pacers win the next 2 rounds. So.
he's trying to manifest a Tyrese Halliburton Pacers appearance. Onto the trade paperbacks, we got Doll Parts, a Lovesick Tale, which is a continuation of the Lovesick Universe series from Luana Vecchio. It's $17.99, coming out on the 16th of July. Sorry, this is going to collect the 4-issue miniseries. If you guys haven't read Lovesick, it is one of the most gruesome BDSM-ish type of stories.
Oh,
that
is it a manga or is it just like a manga?
It's the art style is kind of like it, but it's not a manga at all.
Okay.
But anyway, so if you guys are interested in the continuation of Vecchio's Lovesick, I know that there are some fans out there. It was definitely a bit too much for my taste, but I know that there are a lot of fans out there. If you guys enjoy that, definitely pick up this series. I Hate Fairyland, Volume 8, from the wonderful Scotty Young and Brett Bean, this time on art as part of the continuation of Gert. This is her adventures in a brand new story. 16 through 20, issue 16 through 20 are in here, part of the second volume and series. $16.99.
So, have you read your free comic book day books yet?
I have read my free comic book day books.
Did you read the I Hate Fairyland?
Mm-hmm.
Is this all new material?
It should be.
Because it's like I kind of liked it because I'm someone that has been late on the bandwagon of reading I Hate Fairyland, but it's almost like a I Hate Fairyland grand design because she like goes through like everything that's happened in like this little storybook set. So
kind of cute, yeah.
It kind of catches you up on everything.
Did you read any of I Hate Fairyland before, Taylor?
No, it's a series that I've been wanting to read. I love Scotty Young's work, but reading this, it just I don't know why I haven't read it. It's just something I haven't got. But this what made me want to read it even more. Just like the jokes that he makes in here are hilarious. Like the one that like literally made me laugh out loud was when Gertrude, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Makes fun of Scotty Young by calling him like the baby cover artist.
He is, but I will just tell this to be. I do think that Scotty Young is a better writer than he is an artist, and that's no shade to his cute chibi art. Yeah, like man, like you read like the Me You Love in the Dark, Twig. I'm just like, I want you to write more of this. Like he is a really, really talented writer.
Yeah, and I know that there was some discourse over the later I Hate Fairyland, like after the first 2 deluxes, because he's no longer on art. I don't know if that art has sufficed with looks like Brett Bean.
Brett Bean is fun. It's not Scotty Young, but it's still very fun.
Okay. Yeah. So I definitely need to try it out though. Those deluxes look a lot of fun and cool.
They are. Yeah. It's like Alice in Wonderland, except there's a lot of killing and smashing.
Yeah.
Everything.
But sign me up. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. It is indeed awesome. I'm so hyped for Lovesick Doll Parts. I like the first one. It was so. See, there you go. So we got fans of the first series rolling along. Hey, there was. Somebody recommended to me while I was working at the comic shop, and I was like, I'm just going to try it out. It was not for me. I'll just say it wasn't for me, but I know a lot of people love it.
Did they warn you that that was part of the content?
No.
Okay.
I just went into it blind.
Oh, man, that's cruel. You can't.
It is indeed.
That's like, I don't know, eating a piece of chocolate cake and all of a sudden realize it's like meatloaf.
No. That's like the Lakers playing Maxi Kleba in a win or go home game for 10 minutes. That's the experience.
Who had played how many minutes before that?
0. because we didn't have any big men. But anyways, that's another different story for a different time. Duncan Jones and Alex DeCampi are on this book called Maddie, which is the third story in Duncan Jones's Mooniverse, following the films Moon and Mute, featuring Pierre Guerra, Simon Beasley, Andy Wu, Glenn Fabry, James Decaux, and others in this title. 1999, coming out on the 9th of July.
This was a Kickstarter a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, and they had like a hardcover and things. I guess I didn't realize this is the third, like Moon, like the movie with the what's his name in with the main character, the real funny guy, Sam. Somebody help me.
Somebody help us in the chat, guys. Who is it?
Sam. What's his name? Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, right.
I love that movie. I didn't realize this was like the third chapter of that. I've not seen Mute, but
I need
that
to
makes me want to see this a little bit. And then Simon Bisley, James Stokoe, Sam Rockwell. Thank you. Wow, I might have to try this out. I will say I've read some comics from Alex DeCampi, and I wasn't the biggest fan, but
the art looks cool. Try different. Yeah, it does look. I mean, it's a cover 2 by Paulo Rivera. So, well, or it says anyways. If there are two things I love, it's Pokemon and sports talk. Oh, thank you, Arya. I think he's being a little facetious there. Yeah, somebody did. When I worked at the comic shop, obviously, like, you go into a lot of things blind because you just look at something on the shelf and sometimes it piques your interest. I was like, oh, there's like blood on the cover, and I was like, oh, I did not expect that. I think that'd be
one thing to pick it up based because you thought the cover was cool, but for someone to recommend it to you and also not give you a warning it's a whole nother thing entirely.
It is, but you just have to deal with stuff like that. Next up, we got Spawn Misery by Todd McFarlane and Szyman Kudransky, who is doing the Something Epic book over at Image as well. Issues 1 through 4 of Misery are collected in here. The former wife of Spawn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
man, they have really been growing this universe. I have to commend McFarlane. Like the fact that they hit issue 300 and it wasn't just like a swan song. They hit issue 300 and I'm like, no, we're expanding everything. Sam Kinison. Not quite. He is funny though.
He is indeed. I have read some of that because I interviewed Ryan Cady back 3.5 years ago. And I talked to him about it because he's the editor of the book. So yes, I have read Sunstone.
Speaking of Scotty Young, this next one threw me for a loop. I thought this was like some sort of sequel to the Scotty Young and Evan Schnauer Oz series, but it's not. It just looks kind of like it though.
Yeah, I got Otis Frampton, who does the writing and the art for this book called Patchwork Girl of Oz, Volume 1, $12.99, collecting the first 5 issues of this. It's an imaginative new comic book adaptation for young readers of Otis Frampton.
And what a great world to explore. That Oz series, the Scotty Young did at Marvel, was absolutely fantastic. I love reading that with my son. There's just so many cool characters and stuff, even more so than you see in the movie, which the movie's a classic. I love the movie, but
right.
So many more characters and outlandish like creatures and things to explore. So I think it should constantly be tapped into, and I'm glad that there's a new series. I
am too. Next on the list, we do have friend of my channel, John Layman and Rob Duenas on Spawn Kills Every Spawn. This is a Hellspawn-led book collecting the 5-issue miniseries.
And this is like a play on like the Spawn Kills the Universe or whatever. There's a previous one to this, right? Yeah. And we've seen series like this too, like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, Punisher kills the Marvel Universe, Spawn kills everyone in the universe. John Layman, I do like his writing though. He did Chew, right? Yeah, Chew. And then what was that one sci-fi series he did that was like kind of like a Star Trek takeoff?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember. Yeah.
That one was fun too.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff. Like he's doing, the Spawn Scorch book. You got this Titans now over at DC. So he's got his hands full on a lot of different ongoings.
Good for him. Good for him.
I'm very happy for John. And if you are interested, of course, in picking up Spawn Kills Every Spawn, or if you are in Canada, check out our sponsor over at BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels, with a storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website offers 25% off your order for $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order at $250 or more, with shipping care that is exceptional. Your books will stay rough through the it's not even the winter anymore, but we have spring upcoming, so they will stay cozy through the Canadian spring. That is BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels in Canada. All right. That is all we have for Image. And on to the next publisher, which is Dark Horse. Indeed, the first of which is The Art of Rust for the video game collectors and whatnot. $54.99, 184 pages, coming out on the 21st of October.
I think the next book is a video game art book too, isn't it?
Yes. So we got that, and then we do have Beasts of the Four Nations, creatures from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra by John O'Brien, with a lot of different illustrators. And there is also a deluxe edition of this as well that has more content at $79.99. So if you want a slipcase, you want some extra art, you can get that for $79.99. Or if you are just interested in the regular hardcover, it is $39.99.
Oh, maybe not video game. Is that like the animated series?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, both non-comics things, but come by a comics publisher.
It's always winter. You know what? Powerverse Comics Reader, I went to Vancouver a couple, or like 10 years ago. I always go like every 10 years or so because we have family in Vancouver. I went during the summer. It wasn't too hot, actually. Like, it was like very, not what I was expecting from the cold. I'll just say that. But I don't really know if I have a good gauge on that because I am a Californian by heart. And so everything to me that isn't 60 degrees is like freezing cold. So what can I do?
Did you see any grizzlies up there?
I wish I did.
were the Grizzlies even in Vancouver when you were alive?
No.
When did they move to Memphis?
The late 90s, right? Let me look that up, actually. Somebody tell me. After the 2001 season, which is just like literally, I was partly non-existent. They moved. So yeah, I've never seen the Grizzly in Vancouver.
That was quick too. They'd only been a team for like 4 or 5 years at that point.
I know. Crazy to think about. Next up, we got Plants vs. Zombies, Volume 24, The Big Spitball by Tobin and Russo at $12.99, 88 pages, coming out on the 23rd of September. People at my comic shop rave for this. Like, for their kids, they always bought this book. I was like, I'm so surprised, but they love this stuff.
Yeah, Paul Tobin has been on the book the entire time too. My son is a huge fan of these, and I have to say, the way they released this annoyed me as a parent because my son is like obsessive with reading things in order, which you don't have to really read these in order, but he wants to. But they don't have volume numbers on the books anywhere. I don't know if this one does. It does specifically say volume 24 right there, but they don't have volume numbers on it. So we are literally looking at the G-Chef for like the years and trying to put them in order. They did later start releasing the Zomnibuses that like had them all in order. I think there's only 2 volumes of those so far. But it was kind of frustrating to and then they released it in a number of different formats too. They have box sets and like all kinds of things. But it is a fun series. I enjoyed reading it with them.
I've only played the iPad game Plants vs. Zombies, but let me know in the comments section if anybody, are they worth it, or are they just like the standard run of the mill?
The comics?
Yeah, the comics.
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, they're fun all ages comics. Like if they're not anything too serious, but the characters, if you play the game, the characters of Nate and Patrice aren't really in the game too much. Like those are the 2 kids, but the comics really focus on those 2 kids a lot.
I see.
It's kind of like a Saturday morning cartoon for kids. Like it's kind of played in a similar way. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Okay, interesting. All right, Josh. It's those are strong words right there, my friend.
Wow, I don't know about that, but maybe Steve more.
Maybe, perhaps. Serpent in the Garden, Ed Gray, in the Last Battle for England, $24.99, 104 pages, coming out on the 2nd of September, collecting the 3-issue series and a bonus sketchbook section and cover gallery. You got Ben Stenbeck here on the arts, with Dave Stewart obviously complimenting on the colors.
Okay, so this is Hellboy universe. Okay. Has a banner at the top.
It does indeed have a banner at the top.
Yeah. Man, I really need, because they've been coming out with a lot of these like mini series and stuff for Hellboy that, like, obviously they're all connected to the Hellboy universe, but it's not like they're doing like BPRD volumes 1 through 10 or whatever. Like they're like this small little mini series. I hope they collect these in a bigger, not even. I'm not asking for larger trim size, but like thicker trades or something. Easier way to collect these, because I'm not going to pick up these small hardcovers like this. But
maybe someday they'll put out like an omnibus of it.
I hope so.
Yeah, Dark Horse usually does.
But Mike Mignola, I mean, credit to him. He has created a vast universe, and it's always fun.
It is indeed. Always Instigator says, I'm genuinely surprised DreamWorks or someone hasn't adapted Plants vs. Zombies as a big summer animated movie. It's prime for it with the books.
That's honestly a great point. I'm shocked. I mean, even just taking the Paul Tobin stories from the comics, too, and adapting them will be an easy way to do that. You don't even have to try to. It's not like the Emoji Movie where we're trying to come up with a game based on or a movie based on like nothing.
You really had to bring that up, huh? Oh my gosh.
Is that a sore point with you?
It's very much a sore point with me. I remember when I watched it in the SUV with my brother, like driving to Los Angeles like one time for vacation. It was one of the most painful 2.5 hours of cringe that I've ever watched, like, in my life.
And how old were you when you were watching it?
I was 10 years young, man. Like 10 years younger than I am. Yeah. It's been a while.
So you weren't even like an adult, like saying like this movie sucks. Like you were actually a kid recognizing that this movie sucked.
Yep, indeed. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
This is stupid. Just like Maxi Kleba getting into a game in Game 5.
Are you still in support of JJ Redick though?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Okay.
I just think that again, we had a lot of flaws as a roster, and we need to capitalize on a heist that we.
I do think that Redick did a better job than Darvin Ham,
but it's also that's not really hard to do.
It's not. But Redick, I think he's just an experience as a coach. I think he just needs to like. I think he's going to get better. He shows a lot of promise.
Yeah, I agree. According to Omar's interview with Dark Horse, they will do hardcovers and larger trade paperbacks. They will keep the trade paperbacks in print, but the hardcovers on it. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense as a company. Starfield Visual Compendium by Bethesda, $59.99, 368 pages, coming out on the 16th of September. And then the bigger one, I suppose, is the Starlight Library Edition by Mark Millar and Goran Parlov, $49.99, 184 pages, coming out on the 9th of September, collecting the 6-issue limited series.
Oh, yeah. This one. Have you read this?
I have not.
Okay. This one, Mark Miller, I always like am trepidatious of reading and stuff. I either love his stuff or don't like it too much. But the premise here is kind of like a Dark Knight Returns type deal. He's like an astronaut that used to be a hero, and he's kind of coming back in his latter years, trying to save the world again. So I'm intrigued.
Okay. I love the John Cassaday cover.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's an incredible, or he was an incredible artist.
Indeed. R.I.P. To John. See, Foxhound knows what's up. Yeah, we do need to get Giannis's offseason so we can take off the NBA again. Let's go.
I love Giannis, but that's too much.
Too much for what? No,
unless LeBron retires, Luka and Giannis together will be all right.
That'll be a very fun thing for me to watch. All right, Avatar: The High Ground Omnibus. Don't tell Anakin Skywalker about this, but this is a $29.99 deal. 264 pages, coming out on the 30th of September.
Then this is based on the James Cameron movie.
You are correct.
Yeah.
So that is one for you folks who are big fans of the James Cameron flicks. Next up, we got Behemoth by Ryan Engel and Grant Sputore and Jay Martin on the illustrations at $19.99, coming out on the 16th of September, collecting issues 1 through 4 of Behemoth.
Wow. Godzilla meets Alien meets Speed in an action venture graphic novel. Those are 3 of my favorite things in movies ever. I'm gonna have to pick this up.
He's gonna buy it.
I love Godzilla. I love Alien, and I love Speed. Speed's one of my favorite action movies ever. Have you seen Speed?
I have. My dad has. I haven't.
Okay. Because Keanu Reeves in Speed 2 sucked.
Speed is good. Okay.
Speed is good though.
Okay, I will have to keep
Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock. You can't go wrong.
Do I need to read the last Airbender comics before watching the James Cameron?
I bet you James Cameron is just pissed off every time someone asks him that question.
Probably. Blood Blockade Battlefront Omnibus Volume 1. This is a manga, $29.99, 672 pages, coming out on the 2nd of September, collecting the first 3 volumes of Blood Blockade Battlefront and Chapter Eden of Master Fighters from Volume 4.
And this is from the creator of the international hit Trigun.
Yes, indeed. So if you like Trigun, it might be work out for you. Yeah.
If you really like those Trigun hardcovers, then here's another gateway for you to another manga.
Indeed. Amy Chu is on a Borderlands comics, Moxie's Mysterious Memento. I love the alliteration there. 1999, 2nd of September, collecting the first 4 issues of Borderlands from the video game.
This is a very video game heavy month.
It is
for us.
I guess
there's even another one later, and Fantagraphics even is dabbling in the video game.
I know, I saw adaptation. That. Yeah.
Front, so we'll see that later too. I'm not a big gamer though, so I'm left out of this these conversations. But I do. It's comic book app. That's the way to get me into reading or watching anything. Some people will be like, "Hey, have you seen this movie?" Like, no, but is there a comic version of it? It's usually my joke. Like the Cyberpunk video game sounds cool. I don't have time to ever play it, but the comic book series, I'm kind of intrigued to try out.
It's fun. I had a fun time with it.
The comic.
Yeah, the only reason I picked it up was because Artgerm drew a cover. That's the easiest way. If there's a #1 issue and Artgerm drew, it doesn't matter whatever that character is, I will buy it. So
that's the gateway for you.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I have not missed out on an Artgerm cover in 5 years.
Wow.
6 years? Yeah, 6 years, 6 years.
That's an impressive streak.
I do my best. Can I say? Creepy Archives Volume 10 by Doug Mensch, Bill Dubé, Richard Corbin. Grave Consequences is bound to be a stream collecting issues 46 through 50 of Creepy.
So I absolutely love these collections. They're such an affordable format. They're magazine trim sized, but they're only $24.99. The comics are in black and white, but they have colored covers on the inside. And we're getting to the point. So Creepy Archives, like volumes 1 through 6-ish, were like the peak years. And then there's a little bit of a downswing, but now we're getting back up to some more peak years because Richard Corbin is on the book. And Richard Corbin's one of the greatest comic book artists of all time. And Reed Crandall coming back also. So Doug Minch on the writing duties as well. He's a great comic book writer. I'll definitely pick this up. My goal is to have every volume of these in the paperback form because I missed out on the hardcovers. So I'm excited for this. And we're getting to issue 50 now. Good stuff.
Indeed. And there you go. Next up, we got Duranki, $14.99 by Studio Gaga, available for the first time in English, produced by Kentaro Miura. 256 pages, coming out on the 16th of September.
Oh, it's the creator of Berserk. But it's his studio that did it?
Yeah,
so it's probably the same studio that's working on the new series of Berserk as well. And Lady Gaga worked on it too. So you have Lady Gaga and no, just kidding.
Monster Man. I mean, you could have added Mother Monster and be like, gotta put Lady Gaga somewhere. The EC Archives, Two Fisted Tales, Volume 3, Wally Wood, Jack Davis, September 16th, 1999, 216 pages.
The absolute best war comics you will ever read. Joe Kubert, famous war comic artist, does the foreword on this one. But seriously, every month, every time I get an opportunity on my channel, I wax poetic about EC Comics. But the war comics in particular, if you want to read war comics, try out the EC Comics ones. Even more affordable than the eerie, creepy ones. This is only $19.99 and it's full color. And Harvey Kurtzman, Jack Davis, Wally Wood, amazing stuff. And they're all one and done stories, so don't worry about the volume 3 part of it. Pick up any of these volumes and read them. It's amazing.
Great. Yeah,
absolutely.
check it out.
Some of the absolute best war comics you'll ever read.
For sure. I don't disagree with that.
Garth Ennis, yes. Garth Ennis is like Garth Ennis is like the only modern comic book writer of the last like 20 or 30 years that I like has done maybe 20 years that's done like really great war comics. I do agree with that sentiment. I wish the genre was more prominent these days. But back in the 50s, Harvey Kurtzman was an incredible war comics writer.
For sure, indeed. You know what? Apparently, StreamYard must have missed the first 10 minutes because people came in and they were like, "Why are you guys talking about books?" And I was like, "We weren't talking about." It said we have been live for 10 minutes. I had no idea what happened, so I blame StreamYard. But we are here and we are live.
I know Bunk missed a whole 10 minutes of us just talking trash about the Boston Celtics.
I know. It's like you lose game one on your home floor. What are you doing? Last question before we go on. How do you feel they match up against Charlie's War?
That is one I actually have not read. That's the 2000 AD comic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one more comic I've not read, and I've been wanting to. I like to think of myself as a war comics aficionado, and that's like the one big shining hole in my comics reading as far as war comics go.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I have to check that out. Always an instigator.
Her new stuff, that is true. Her new stuff I need to try out. I know she's been doing a lot of the 2000 AD war comics, and I've not read those as well. So,
for sure. Real quick, Eerie Archives Volume 10. Also, Doug Mensch on this with Esteban Maroto and San Julian. 2nd of September, 272 pages, $24.99. 47 through 51 here.
Yeah, they've been pumping in these out. Like, obviously, we're on Volume 10 of Creepy, Volume 10 of Eerie. I'll be picking that one up for sure. None of the artists on that one, though, I recognize too much, so it'll be a new exploration for me. Paul Neary, I know him, but the other ones I'm not familiar with.
Indeed. Odd question. Absolute Doomsday Clock or Absolute Planetary? Absolute Planetary. I miss John Cassaday. I just realized with the cover that we showed earlier from Mark Millar's comic that I think you'll love the story time, Cheetah.
Planetary is like top-notch masterpiece comics. It's so good. Reading it made me want to collect it in single issues because I think it worked so well as a single issue unit too. I want to read like just a single issue, like one at a time kind of thing. Because I read it in the omnibus format. I don't know. Do you ever have comics that implore you to want to go get the singles? Is that a weird thing for me?
Well, I usually read singles first before I get to the collector.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Because that's just that's how I collect. But
I really appreciate like the single issue unit when someone makes a complete full unit of comics in one issue that's not like written to be part 1 of 6, where you don't get like a full chunk of a story in one comic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like back in the day in the Silver and Bronze Age of comics, when it was like every issue could be someone's first issue kind of thing.
For sure, indeed. Also, eclectic Brent Hogan asks, are those new war comics set in Afghanistan or Iraq?
With Ennis and Torrin Grumbuck, I think most of Ennis's stories are like they're done in like World War II, Vietnam type stuff. I don't know that he's done any Afghanistan, Iraq.
Not recently.
And Torrin Grumbuck, I'm not sure, but I think hers are also throwbacks too. I don't know that there's a lot of. There are some certainly, but I don't know there's a lot of comics written about the Afghanistan or Iraq war.
If you read an Afghanistan comic, I would definitely recommend 20th Century Men by Denise Camp.
Yeah, that's on my list. I need to read that.
You do need to read that.
I used to make fun of it because I was like, I always joked that it was a sequel to 20th Century Boys, but then people start saying it was actually good, so then I stopped making fun of it.
No, it's like legitimately one of the best reads I've had.
I need to read it.
Yeah, you do need to read it. Another recommendation for war comics: Black Cotton Star.
That was that Fantagraphics. I feel like Fantagraphics printed that. I could be wrong.
I'll
look it up.
Yeah. Yes, Tom King's Sheriff. Yes, that is one of my favorite war comics of the last.
Yes.
Very much set in Iraq. So
and obviously with Tom King's experience in those wars, he had a firsthand knowledge of it.
Yes, indeed. Gaunt's G Omnibus, Hiroya Oku and Tomohito Osaki and Keita Izuka. I wish Joe were here to help us with the pronunciation, but unfortunately, he'll be back next month. he's busy with a lot of things, and I understand it. But yeah, $29.99, 648 pages, coming out on the 30th of September, collecting the first 3 volumes of Gantz G.
Black Cotton Star was Pegasus Books, not Fantagraphics. I think this Gantz G. I think it's the follow-up series to Gantz.
Yes,
I've read the first omnibus of Gantz, and I liked it enough, but I hate that small omnibus trim size format that Dark Horse does sometimes, which I'm assuming this probably is too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where they're even smaller than tankobons. I don't understand that format. So I've been hoping for Gantz to be in a bigger trim size format. I might try it again. So I like the first volume, but I don't know. I just hated the format.
Oh, for sure. Okay. All right.
Low hit. I didn't know you read Gantz.
Hey, at least I can spell it, Josh. All right. I'm just joking with you. Love you, bud. Next up, we got Into the Unbeing, Volume 2 by Zach Thompson, Hayden Sherman, who I feel like is everywhere, and Jim Campbell. 7th of October, 1999, 128 pages.
So this looks like a horror comic.
Indeed.
Yeah. What other comic? What you said, Hayden Sherman? Is he a colorist?
They're an artist.
Oh, okay.
They're doing Absolute Wonder Woman with Kelly Thompson and Batman Dark Patterns with Dan Waters right now.
I knew I recognized the name. I just couldn't think of what they've worked on.
Yeah, fair enough. More than fair. Magic Order Volume 5. This time, Matteo Buffagni joins Mark Millar in an Enterprise. You know what? I saw all 4 volumes of Magic Order at my college's bookstore yesterday. I went in to pick up some stuff, and they were all there, and they were highly recommended by the people who work there. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, 1999, 160 pages, coming out on the 7th of October, collecting, of course, the 5th series.
And I think that soon to be a major Netflix live action series has been on the last 12 shows we've done of this.
Yes.
And it still is not a major Netflix live action series.
Not yet. Soon to be. Will it be? We will be soon to be. Yes, Dark Spacers with Scott Snyder. That's where, interestingly enough, that's where Kelly Thompson first was exposed to their art on that title. So, yeah, that is cool. I have to go to a con someday. I've never been to a convention, but maybe someday. Feels weird to say that. Ripperland, John Harris Dunning and Steve Orlando team up with Alessandro Oliveri, coming out on the 30th of September, 1999, 136 pages. This is going to collect the first or the 4-issue series. Got Jack the Ripper coming back to London, so yes, we love revenge thrillers. Next up, we have.
It's futuristic too. The year is 2188.
Yep. So Jack the Ripper is not in Gotham, but he is in London, set 100 years from now. So
interesting.
Yes, indeed. Next up, we do have Stranger Things, Dungeons and Dragons, The Rise of Hellfire by Jody Hauser, Eric Campbell, and Diego Galindo in 1999, coming out on the 30th of September. This is a lot of text, but yeah, a lot of TV show. This is going to collect the 4-issue Rise of Hellfire miniseries.
Have you read any of the Stranger Things comics?
I have not yet, no.
I read the first 3 miniseries I think they did. It was whatever comprises, maybe 4. The first 2 library editions. I read them on an airplane one time, digitally, not the actual library edition. Mm-hmm. But they're fun. They're good. If you're a Stranger Things fan, I recommend them. They kind of they're not adapting the episodes. Like they're just like kind of a growing on, like they're new stories, but they're kind of growing out the universe type deal.
Oh, for sure. Okay. We have to check them out someday. If not, I know a lot of friends who watch the TV shows that I can just say, hey, why not get into comics too, guys?
Yes, they're great gateway comics. Are you a Stranger Things fan of the show?
I've watched the first season.
Okay.
So
hey, just in time, the last season's coming out this fall.
I have heard. It's time. Maybe it's time for me to dabble into the rest. I'm just so busy. Feels like nowadays.
Well, you don't have a lot of basketball to watch anymore, so.
I know I do, because I'm rooting for the Nuggets to win the championship.
The who?
I'm rooting for the Nuggets to win the championship.
Oh, the Nuggets.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought you said the Dubs. I'm like, oh, you've gone local.
No, never. Vampire Hunter D Omnibus Book 9, Hideo Kikuchi and Yoshitaka Amano, 24.99, 552 pages, coming out on the 23rd of September. This is going to collect volumes 25 through 27 of Vampire Hunter.
This is a favorite of Astonishing Melanie, I believe.
I do believe you are correct, and also one of Josh's favorites as well. Interesting. I have to check. Yeah, Magic Order is really good. I swear, no, I don't think so. If they have 9 omnibuses, that means somebody must have been interested in the first 8, Josh. Somebody. And last but not least, from Dark Horse, we do have the World of Black Hammer Omnibus Volume 5, $29.99, 248 pages. Patton Oswalt, Jeff Lemire, Jeff Johns, and Scott Snyder on this. Interesting. I did not know.
Yeah, this is the. Have you read old Black Hammer?
I've only read the Justice League crossover.
Oh man, Dom, you got to get in Black Hammer. I think it's some of the best superhero comics this century. Like seriously, like, they're so good.
That good.
These are the paperback omnibuses. This is collecting Visions 1 through 8, which were the each issue was written by someone that wasn't Jeff Lemire. And done by a different artist. So yeah, like one issue is done by Jeff Johns, one issue is done by Mariko Tamaki, one by Patton Oswalt. I will say, of all the Black Hammer universe, this series in itself was my least favorite. I think Jeff Lemire has such a good vision for this universe that it was kind of fun to see other people's interpretation of things, and some of these were good. Some of these issues were good, but some of the issues were just like, just give me more Jeff Lemire stuff. But Black Hammer, seriously, amazing universe. Absolutely love it. I have some videos on my channel if James Abel wants to link them in the chat, showing off all the library editions. The reading order. Yeah, there's a reading order of the Black Hammer on my channel. Such good stuff. The library editions too are beautiful books. They're oversized. They're very affordable. But also these paperback omnibuses are great too.
Interesting. All right, I have to check it out then. There you go. Wayne Slade agrees that you got to read in Black Hammer. So
Thank you. That's a great compliment.
Indeed, it is. All righty, we got Power Rangers on display here, but the first book we're talking about is not Power Rangers. It is Hollow, the Woman in White, by Brandon Boyer White and Shannon Waters, with Berenice Nell, 24.99, 176 pages, coming out on the 5th of August. This is a new paranormal adventure. This is an original graphic novel as well.
Oh, from the writer of Lumberjanes.
Indeed.
So if you're a fan of Lumberjanes, here you go.
There you go.
Yes,
James.
Thank
you. And also, Ollie's an Instigator is asking, are you going to upgrade to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Absolutes with the reprint coming? I just reread my Jubilee edition. I don't think I will.
That is a great question. It's one of my favorite comic book series ever, and I think I'm going to. But I think I don't know. It's so hard because I don't want to get rid of my omnibus and wait for the other ones. And I think the other two are kind of volumes 2 and the Black Dossier are easily to get. They're not that hard and way out of print. I probably will though. I love that series, so I want the oversized artwork, even more oversized Kevin O'Neill artwork.
Mm-hmm. And with a nice slipcase too.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then the second one is the Pink Ranger Deluxe Edition for MMPR by Amy Jo Johnson, of course. Matt Hodson, Nico Leone, collecting the return issues 1 through 4, Pink 1 through 6, and Reimagine from the 30th anniversary special, along with a brand new short story.
Well, since our resident Power Rangers fanatic is licking his wounds after the loss last night, I'll try to do my best. Just kidding, Bunk. I love you. I'll try to do my best here. Bunk, if you're in the chat, still correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these are all out of continuity. I think the Amy Jo Johnson series was like an out of continuity miniseries because Amy Jo Johnson, for people that don't know, played the original Pink Ranger in the original Power Rangers TV series. So she comes in to write comics, which was cool because she's never, of all the original Power Rangers, I think she might be the only one that has not come back to a future Power Rangers live action series. And she's always kind of derided the fact, saying like, I'm too old for this kind of thing. But she came back to write the comics, which is really cool. But I think these are all out of continuity.
That is what my friend told me. I just texted him
Yeah. So
yesterday asking about
they are
because
deluxe editions. They'll look nice on the shelf with your other deluxe editions, but if you're only wanting like the main continuity Power Ranger stuff, don't feel like you have to get this.
Mm-hmm.
But I have heard the series are fun still.
Interesting. All right. Maybe this is he loves it. My friend loves the Pink Ranger and he's a big Power Rangers fan. So I was just like, I don't know what this is. Could you tell me what it is? And yeah, apparently there's supposed to be all out of continuity. So as a mod, I think I need a band. Whoa. The burn. No omnibus for you, I guess, Josh. No omnibus for you.
Oh, for the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
For the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Amy Jo Johnson did have it. That she did. I do remember that. I did watch that movie in theaters.
That movie wasn't bad.
I enjoyed that movie.
I didn't. There was some things I wish they would have fixed with that movie, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't too bad. I agree with you. We got Fence Challengers, Volume 7 by C.S. Passat and Johanna the Mad, 1499, 112 pages, 29th of July. This is going to collect Long Shot and Sweet 16.
This has been a long series, I think.
It has been. Oh, I love that cover.
Oh, it's Volume 7. Duh.
Yeah.
I was looking for that in the title, but it says it on the cover there.
It does indeed say it on the cover. Next up, we do have Hello Darkness, Volume 2 by Garth Ennis and James Tynan, with Becky Cloonan on the illustrations this time. Well, it's a pretty big anthology series, 1999, 176 pages, collecting issues 5 through 8 of Hello Darkness, coming out on the 15th of July.
Oh, it's just anthology? What is it? Is it part of the Something That's Killing the Children?
It says featuring stories by all of these different creators. So
you're right. Yeah. Are they just like not connected stories, like totally anthology style, like EC Comics back in the day?
I want to say it is.
Okay.
Feels like it is. Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
He is intrigued.
I need more information.
He needs more. He needs to get Volume 1.
Oh, we have Hollow in a different format. We have paperback version.
Yeah, and a hardcover. So good on Boom. So this is for $19.99, and then we do have. Go. Sorry.
That seems to be a very like YA book market type thing to have the paperback and hardcover come out the same day, and I love the idea of that. I guess for variety reasons, for people like Paperback Dan that don't collect hardcovers because he's weird. Paperback Dan, if you're in the chat, but I wonder the sales. Like I don't know. Do people even? I don't know. That's just a thought I'm having myself. It's interesting that they would do them the same day though.
Yeah, DC is also doing that for some of their Batman, Detective Comics, Batman Superman World's Finest, Poison Ivy. So they're not immune to doing that either. So
it's just interesting. It makes me wonder if there's like people like customers that only like don't watch shows like this, which they should obviously subscribe and hit the like button if you're watching.
That's right.
But that don't watch shows like this, but only go to like Barnes and Noble if they're like confused when they go there and they're like, why is it in hardcover now? Why is it in when they can't find both versions? I don't know. Interesting.
Read a few issues of Hello Darkness. I think it's more similar to like how 2008 the anthologies with some multiple part stories across different issues. Batman Raven the Bold over at DC does the same thing where you'll have like stories that span across multiple issues, like the Riddler story by Tom King and Mitch Gerrits spanned over like 1 through 3 and then like issue 6 of the series. So yeah, it's
interesting.
Yeah, so interesting. Okay. My audio is muted. Just want to say hello back to you, Arun. How come Dark Horse stopped doing Dark Horse Comics Presents?
You know what? I've often thought, Mike from Manhattan, that Marvel Comics Presents, Marvel Fanfare, which we're getting an omnibus this week or next week, those kind of anthologies were amazing. And I don't know why Marvel and DC doesn't do that anymore, and Dark Horse Presents as well, because they were such a good like tryout for a series type deal. Like and as a consumer, I assume like it's probably like a sales thing. Like consumers unfortunately don't buy Dark Horse Presents. They'd rather buy something with an actual title to it. But as a consumer, if you get like a 32-page comic that has like 4 different stories in it from different creators as like a tryout thing, I think it's such a cool thing to do. And then also Marvel would use it as like a tryout process for like artists and writers and stuff too. Like, yeah, come write this 8-page story and we'll see how it goes. And then they'll maybe give them a gig, a longer standing gig. I wish they would bring that kind of thing back. I agree, Mike. Dark Horse Presents had so many fun stories throughout its history.
That indeed. All right. And then Zombie Tales Complete Collection. Keith Giffen and Mark Wader on this. Interesting. Collecting the 12-issue series, and as well from Zombie Tales Oblivious, and Zombie Tales the Dead.
And Fabio Moon is
Fabio Moon on the colors or the art, yeah.
And 12 issues for only $19.99. Dang.
That's a pretty good deal, if I do say so myself.
Oh, it lists a bunch of other creators. I wonder if this is like an anthology then, because it says Steve Niles, John Lonsdale, Andy Kuhn.
Ultimate Zombie Anthology.
Okay. William Mesner Loebs. I mean, this is like a who's who of.
It is, yeah.
Big two.
Ron Lim with Silver Surfer. Oh my gosh, that's pretty good. All right. 19. This is only $20, folks. I mean, $20 for all of that. I mean, that's a pretty good deal if I do say so myself.
Oh, 428 pages?
Yeah.
Is that price right?
Yes, it's right.
Comicreleases.com. Can we trust them?
I don't know. Can we?
I'm just kidding. But dang, I'm always looking for stuff because I have decided this year I'm going to try to do the 31 days of horror comics again. So I'm always looking for new comics to add, and this would give me enough time to read this.
It would indeed. There you go. It's going to be time. This is going to be part of Taylor's.
Well, let's not confirm that.
Hey, you know what? Someone did. Okay, if the Indiana Pacers get to the NBA Finals, he will do a. No, I'm joking. Don't make promises you can't keep.
I'll do the 31 Days of Horror. I just don't know if this comic will be in it, but I mean, if the Pacers make it to the finals, then hey, if they win the finals, they've only been once.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
They've only been once, and they lost to some stupid team that you root for.
There you go, and there you guys have it. Now, if you want to get Zombie Tales Complete Collection and if you live in the EU, go ahead and check out our sponsors in Berlin, Germany. That is none other than Walt's Comic Shop, with the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC big books within the EU, with a flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries and bulletproof packaging. All emails will be answered within 24 hours with a superb collection of not just Zombie Tales, but also other Boom titles such as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink Deluxe hardcover. You can let them know that we sent you at checkout, and you can get free shipping for your first order of over €40. Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and collected editions in Europe. Ding! All right, let's go ahead and head on to the next publisher, which is none other than IDW, the first of which is a DC Covers Artist Edition with illustrators Walt Simonson, Bernie Wrightson, John Byrne, Mike Mignola, Jim Lee, $150. This is going to collect the artwork of people like Brian Bolland, John Byrne, Nick Cardy, Alan Davis, coming out on the 26th of August at $150 at that big price point. And of course, Taylor, a big fan of the artist editions at Image.
Yeah, I didn't even know this was coming out until you sent me the links to this. I have the Marvel Covers Artist Edition, which I did a video on, James. And I love it. It's such a cool thing to like be able to flip through all these famous Marvel covers and see the original art pieces in their full scale. So this one I'll definitely have my eye on. I love that it's listed as a volume 1. That's great too.
Yeah, that means we have more incoming, and that is never a bad sign for any of these series. Next up, we got The Land of Unfinished Dreams by Marco Ventura and Marco Ferreras at $19.99, 160 pages, coming out on the 5th of August. This is a original graphic novel, and I think it's pretty cool that IDW is leaning to a lot of these these stories like we've seen for like the past year. Or just it's like sometimes it feels like, man, IDW, like, what are you going to be publishing? I think it's really cool that they're putting a lot of these original graphic novels out.
Yeah, definitely. Again, I think that's like the future of the comic book industry is to have a mixture of singles and graphic novels. It's only makes sense for them to tap into that book market and, direct market it both.
So there you go, and there you guys have it. Now onto the trade paperbacks, the first of which is a coloring book for The Beauty of Horror, $16.99, 88 pages, coming out on the 5th of August by Alan Roberts. So if you're a big coloring book fan or want to give some to your kids, well, I'll just say, aspiring artists, all the above.
I was shocked that my son, when he was in second grade, was invited to a Stranger Things themed birthday party. Kids these days are watching all kinds of scary stuff.
So I'm editing a mini documentary right now. My comic book shop was the founding shop of Free Comic Book Day. They asked me to help along this year with
Wow,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I always help out whenever because I worked there for 1.5 years. They were like, yeah, Dom, we want help people out, trying to find books. One of the kids that I talked to that helped us out in the back, like sending out comics, was on a private plane with James Gunn.
Wow.
And he was like,
recently?
yes, recently. He was like, he was like, I'm not a big fan of DC, but I've watched Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. And I was like, you're like, what? He's like a little kid. I have no idea how old he is, but I'm like, they're going places.
Yeah, and these beauty of horror, I know nothing about them, but I do know they released a box set. I saw a box set at a Target or something recently.
Mm-hmm.
The coloring books. Josh, I did read that as a kid, actually.
See, look at that.
It's different when you're a parent, though. Like, here's a good example. The first ever rated R movie I watched was Billy Madison, and we're going through Netflix the other day with me and my son. And I was like, "What should we watch?" And it's like Billy Madison. Aha, you can't watch that. That's not. And then I was thinking, I was like, actually, I was your age when I saw that. That's so weird. Like when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, what's wrong with this movie? This is awesome." But then I'm thinking about it as a parent, and I'm like, I don't want my son watching that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And also, my son probably wouldn't read. He doesn't like scary stuff. He gets scared really easy.
You know what? I get it.
Unfortunately for me, I love horror comics and movies and stuff, but my wife and my son both do not like horror.
Anxiety moments. No, I get it. It's sometimes it's for people. I get it. It's very unnerving, to say the least. But the best way to get him into it, get them to play Luigi's Mansion. Any Luigi's Mansion.
I'm on that front. I'm trying to get him to. He loves Mario. He loves Nintendo. He's willing to dip his toes into Luigi's Mansion and try it out. He's played it like the arcade version at like Chuck E. Cheese and liked it. I'm trying to get him to get on the Switch though.
Do it. Are you gonna get a Switch 2 unrelated?
He's saving up for one.
Okay. Good stuff.
He hasn't pre-ordered it, so hopefully there'll be some available by the time he gets the money for it. But he is actively doing chores around the house trying to save up money.
Nice. I love hearing that. Oh, yeah. Next up we got Best of My Little Pony Volume 4, Pinkie Pie. $8.99, 96 pages. 22nd of July. Collecting My Friendship is Magic 86, 94, and 95. And My Little Pony Micro Series number 5. We've also got the Cape Omnibus by Joe Hill and Zach Howard. Jason Chiaramella co-writing. This is going to collect the 3 graphic novels, the Cape 1969, and the Cape Fallen, coming out on the 9th of December, $27.99, 352 pages.
Oh, and it's based on Joe Hill's short story, which I'm assuming was a prose story. So then Jason Ciaramella, what'd you say his name was?
Ciaramella. Joe, where are you?
Jason adapted it for comics. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. We got The Exorcism at 1600 pen by Hannah Rose May and Vanessa Del Rey, $21.99, 128 pages, coming out on the 19th of August.
For our international viewers, 1600 pen is the address of the White House.
Indeed. Oh my gosh, Killer Clowns, John Remy. That is
from outer space.
From outer space. Rumor is that no, that's too many. I couldn't do that. I already feel bad for getting one, Josh. Like legitimately. I wish I want to say that Invincible Library Volume 3 reprint is getting one, but it's not. We don't have anything on that yet, Bernie. I'm so sorry.
Does Bernie, do you have like their first printing and you're waiting for like the corrected spine printing?
I think that's what they're waiting for.
Okay. I thought Volume 3 is readily available right now, right? It just has the crappy spine.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. So people are waiting in for that.
What's going on with this next one? So we heard like months ago that IDW lost the My Little Pony license, and every month we're doing this, we keep getting
There's
more
a
My
still
Little
new
Pony.
ID. Yeah, still a new My Little Pony. I don't know. 21.99 and 36 pages. August 5th. Yeah, I have no
There's a big
idea.
story that came out. It was like, I don't know, probably Bleeding Cool or whatever. Rich Johnston's always on the, on the beat there. But I think it's like November, December, we first talked about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess this is gonna be maybe IDW's last My Little Pony comic. And then January, we're like, oh, maybe they squeezed one more out. And then February, and here we are. We're still doing it. And now we're getting the omnibus here, which are like the thicker trades with volume 5, 472 pages. Which, I mean, these are huge comics for IDW. So I hope that they were able to keep the license, because they're IDW, like their TMNT license is what's been keeping them afloat the last few years. But My Little Pony is big with the all ages crowd.
They are. We have a lot of. When I worked at the comic shop, there were always like 10 people every single week that would get whatever the newest issue was, and sometimes you get a family rolling in. It's like, hey, we want to, get our daughter or like our kid to start reading, and they'd always get a My Little Pony. So
yeah, they're great all ages gateway comics for sure.
They are indeed, including this one, which is the main 5 Omni, 24.99, 472 pages, collecting 20 issues of the series. And then we got Mutant Nation Volume 1, Eric Burnham and Tom Walsh, 21.99, 208 pages, coming out on the 29th of July. This is going to collect the first 5 issues of Mutant Nation, the brand new TMNT series by Eric Burnham and Tom Waltz, and also TMNT Alpha.
What is this in the same continuity as the Jason Aaron series?
This is right after the no, different. It's right after Armageddon game, or that crossover event, so different.
But these single issues came out around the same time as the Jason Aaron stuff. Like they're still doing.
Yeah. They're still coming out. Like I want to say that they're on issue number 7 of the series right now, so they've been running the same time publishing wise as the Jason Aaron series.
So hypothetically, we can still get more of those hardcovers.
Hypothetically,
of that same series.
Interesting. So yeah. It was weird, but yeah, let us know, TMNT fans. There are just so many TMNT books that it's really hard to keep up with all the continuities, and that is it for IDW. And that is definitely not. Let me see if I can find the next slide in series, which is apparently
publisher in comics.
Your favorite publisher, of course, Fantagraphics. We're gonna start off with Brain Damage by Kago. Tell me more about the series.
So, James, here's another. There might be a lot of tips for videos out on channel for this publisher, but Kago did Dementia 21. It's a series that was collected in 2 books and it was in a slipcase that Fantagraphics put out. If you're into surreal horror and manga, you've got to pick up Brain Damage. Like Kago is such. Like just look up Kago manga, just Google that, and you'll see some of the wildest, most surreal, it'll stick with you forever kind of artwork in your life. So I'm so excited for Brain Damage. I've not read this material. I think this is the first time it's been thank you, James, put into English. But I absolutely loved Dementia 21. It's one of my favorite manga I've ever read, one of my favorite horror comics I've ever read. So Brain Damage is right. I can't wait for it.
Interesting. Okay. Real quick question. Did you guys see the trailer for Revival in Sci-Fi?
I did not.
I have not yet. I have been busy with a lot of things. I feel like I've been behind in everything.
And then Epic Mickey. This is a Peter David written book. You don't get a lot of Peter David written comics over at Fantagraphics, but this is based on the video game Epic Mickey. So I guess these were previously adapted, maybe with a different publisher even. But this is collecting all of the comics that Peter David wrote based on the Epic Mickey game.
Interesting stuff. Okay.
This next one's wild. So Lost Marvels, I just put a video out on my channel last week for the first volume of Lost Marvels. This is Fantagraphics. So Fantagraphics has been doing the Atlas Comics Library, where they've gotten the ability from Marvel to do their 1950s material. But now they're doing this Lost Marvels line, which is collecting things that are even more recent than that. So the first volume was collecting the Tower. Oh shoot! Now I'm losing it. James, put the link in there for me. It was a 9-issue horror series they did, a horror anthology. Tower of Shadows. Thank you. And that was first volume. This next one's gonna be Howard Chaykin volume 1. So there's gonna be another Howard Chaykin volume after this, collecting a lot of his comics he did for Marvel that weren't IP licensed stuff. But there's the Dominic Fortune character, the Monarch Star Stalker. The wildest part about this, though, is this is even collecting his 6-issue Dominic Fortune Marvel Max series. So we're getting Marvel Max comics, like late after 2000s comics, being printed and published by Fantagraphics.
Interesting.
Yeah, wild stuff.
That is very wild. This is a book that's specifically geared for me, and that is the all year round Peanuts mini collection at $29.99. The cute cover.
Yeah, so this is, I think it's 4 hardcovers that were five hardcovers that were previously released, which are just collections of certain seasons of Peanuts related things. So it'll have like all the Christmas strips put into one book, all the Thanksgiving strips put in one book. And it's like 5 volumes of those. So if you're a fan of Peanuts and Charles Schultz, but you don't have like room on your shelf for all 30 volumes that they have.
I don't.
Exactly. So maybe you would just want some of the themed kind of stuff. You can pick this up. I know they're doing a sports box set as well. That's either already come out or it's coming out after this. So I like that they're doing that. Kind of like a greatest hits type deal.
I love that. And it's also, like you said, it's genre based. So it's like if you just want Snoopy, or if you just want a specific, like they're doing whatever, right? Like,
yeah. If you're in the Christmas spirit in December and you want to read some Christmas comics, you pull out the Peanuts Christmas book.
For sure. Jean Remy says, Brain Damage does sound very fun, and there's way too few true horror mangas out there. Might need to pick it up.
Jean Remy, I'd also recommend Living the Line has been doing a smudge imprint for manga. I'm going to do a video on my channel this week showing off all 3 volumes that they've done so far. If you're into horror manga, you've got to pick those up. So stay tuned for that video. I'll show those off on my channel if you want to get a sneak peek of those. Society is Nyx.
Anarchy at the dawn of American comic strip.
So this is American comics from 1895 to 1915. I don't know a lot about this one, but I do know some of the names that are listed here. George Harriman did Crazy and Ignatz, Crazy Cat. Winsor McKay did Little Nemo, which I know we've talked about on this channel before. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be a large book. So it's only the page count, I think, is only like 96 or 100 pages for $100, but it's like very large. It's like artist edition sized almost, because it's supposed to be like mimic the back then the Sunday page of the comic strips were broadsheet size. They're very large. So that's what that is. This next one's exciting.
Yeah, this is obviously one I was like, when I saw it, I was like, I have to put that on the thumbnail.
Yes, and I appreciated that. I noticed that. So this is Donald Duck, Carl Barks finds Pirate Gold. James, here's another one for you. I have James linked the future video. I have a video on my channel showing off all the Carl Barks books so far, which actually is leaving off the videos are like a year old, so I need to update it whenever this book comes out. But this is volume 1. So these have been released out of order. They've been released in kind of like Marvel Epic collections, if you're familiar with that format, because these are all one and done stories. You don't have to read them in order. But now we're finally getting volume 1. They started with volume 4. We have all the way up to volume 28, I believe. So but then they slowly started doing the earlier ones. So when this comes out, we'll have volumes 1 through 28 in order.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So far, I love that. I have to update the video.
I will. This next one's exciting. Here's another one for you. Another one for you, James. I'm putting you to work. I have the complete Hate box video on my channel. If you want to look up that one, James. This is Hate Revisited. So Peter Bagge, one of my favorite cartoonists of all time, in the 90s was doing this series called Hate. It was a slice of life, but it was all about 90s culture and the grunge scene. It took place in the 90s. He's doing it in real time. And the first 20 issues were single issue formats, and then they went to annual. The first 30 issues, I believe. And then there's 10 more. Regardless, that box set collects the entire first run of Hate. But now, last year, Peter Bagge came back for 5 more issues, 5 brand new stories, and this is Hate Revisited. So this takes place after that box set.
Okay. And then here's a question for you: has Whoa Nelly by Jaime Hernandez ever been collected, or is that just tracking for?
No, Bunk, I apologize too. I saw your comment on your video, and I did see that you mentioned Jaime Hernandez at the end of the video. By the way, But no, Will Nelly has not been collected. I don't think. It might be in the Love and Rockets omnibus paperbacks that they did. I don't know if it's been collected in those yet, but I don't think it has. Otherwise, you have to get the single issues, which is just three single issues.
Interesting. All right.
I can give you an answer later, Bunk, on the if it's in one of those omnibuses. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, there you go. Taylor partly stumped, but not completely stumped.
Yes.
All right. That is all we have for Fantagraphics. Next up, we got Oni Press. In this one, we got Adventure Time. Hardcore. Oh, I love Adventure Time. Adventure Time is one of my favorite TV shows, and I was like, I hate.
And it has one of your favorite artists too, right?
Yeah, David Nakayama, who I do collect some of his covers for. So, coming out on the 26th of November. Why is my brain farting? Yeah, this is apparently exclusive to the direct market. So if you are interested in getting this, I like that cover. That cover is very cute. I want to buy it.
Is this like a volume one? Okay, so this is collecting like the earliest comics.
Mm-hmm.
Adventure Time was after my time.
Oh, okay.
It was like right. It's when it was kicking off and being popular. Is like when I stopped watching Cartoon Network, or at least graduated to the Adult Swim version of Cartoon Network. But
I see.
So it's like my nephews and stuff are watching Adventure Time. It seemed like a cool show. I just never.
No, it's one of my favorite shows ever. Between like the cute itsy bitsy moments with BMO and Jake and Finn, and the wildest, wackiest creatures that you could think of. Although I think that was pretty much the theme for all the Cartoon Network shows I watched back in that time, because I was also watching Gumball, regular show,
yes,
yeah, regular show.
That era of Cartoon Network, I watched those with my nephew whenever he was watching them. I'm like, these don't make any sense. Like, are these people doing drugs that make these shows? I don't understand.
But that was the best part of it. It was like every single time that I waited for, whatever the recordings were, because sometimes like my parents were watching basketball or like whatever football, whatever they were watching, Filipino TV shows. I was like, record whatever the brand new episode is, because we had the cable that we had Eastern time and like Pacific Standard Time. Eastern time was in HD, so I always recorded those episodes first, and I knew I'd be able to watch them. But yeah, like they had like the wildest, most insane things that you could think of to draw, and they somehow managed to make not only like coherent stories, but still like have this like overarching plot in every single one of their seasons. I always applauded those shows. I mean, that's why I kept coming back to all those three, like Steven Universe. Like I always watched
Steven Universe is great. My son got into that show for a little bit.
I love that show. So yeah,
that show's great.
This is read Adventure Time, guys, or watch the show. I endorse it with my full heart. YP, hello, how are you doing? Out of Deluxe, late to the game from the Netherlands. Apparently, StreamYard was 10 minutes late, so I think you're good. I think I'm going to say that for every single time someone joins the stream. Just started watching Adventure Time with that whole entire show is a fever dream in the best ways possible.
Which I have to say, I thumbed my nose up at it when my nephew was watching it. I was like, this seems like a weird drug-addled show. What are you watching? But in my adult years, I've really gotten into like comic books that are kind of that way. So yeah. I feel like I need to go back and revisit Adventure Time and regular show.
I think we all do reach a certain age where it's like we get a little bit out of the stuff that maybe we were into as kids, right? Like the whole growing up adage, you're like, like these are for children. And you go down and they're like, wait, shows are actually like really good. Like why did I grow out of it?
Josh nailed it with his comment. I understand the hypocrisy in this. It's not lost on me, but for sure. I don't have any answer to that.
Yeah, no answer to that. Hey, yes, like I have never tried. If Cartoon Network or someone else has Jake's recipe on bacon pancakes, someone please send it to me or send in James, you're here. You can send it in the chat. I want to know how to make them. I'm gonna be making pancakes for lunch today, I think. So I know how to make them. I know how to make them well.
You need to do that on your YouTube channel, like Cooking with Dom.
Cooking with Dom? I like that idea. Interesting. Well, maybe I'll do it with my dad, because my dad's like a world-class chef. I am not even close to that. Yeah. Like literally every single time like we go to a party or something else, like he's always the one making the best thing. Like we went to Thanksgiving and it wasn't like a traditional like turkey and mashed potatoes Thanksgiving. The only thing we had that was traditional was the mac and cheese, which wasn't even that great. But my dad brought 2 complete like catered trays of his famous barbecue or whatever. I went back for seconds, like 10 minutes after. They were gone. Those whole
Wow.
entire trays were gone. I was just like, "Are you serious? I just got here."
That's amazing.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll ask my dad what we can do about it. So we'll see. Knowing WB, I know. That's why I don't have Max. Actually, believe it or not, I asked my mom why we didn't have Max in the household, and she said that the reason to why was like the shows that she wanted to watch were removed like a long time ago. I was like, okay, that makes sense. So
Yeah, it's really quite dumb.
it is quite dumb, but but this book is definitely not dumb, which is Mika and the Chiller, which is an original graphic novel. Award-winning creators Agatha Loth Ignatiuk and Berenica Colom. Joe, I don't know how to say that. Where are you?
Hey, where are
1499.
you? We need
19th.
we need you to
Yeah.
pre-record all of the creator pronunciations so we can put those in.
I'm back here. Oh my goodness. But yes, that's what we have for the hardcovers for Oni Press. Trade paperbacks. We got Best of Buds, which is also being out in a trade paperback. Come on, grab your friends at $19.99, coming out on the 26th of November, collecting the new the first 4 issues of the new series. Next up, we got Agent Cupcake trade paperback. Lauren Davis, Mel Hilario, and Katie Longua, $14.99. Perfect for fans of Spy School and Mac B Kid Spy. Never watched those shows or read those books.
No, I haven't either.
I haven't either, unfortunately. Interesting. I still find it interesting that Oni is doing EC books. This is Epitaphs for the Abyss, Volume 2. Libra Mayho on the cover, $19.99, collecting issues 5 through 8 of Epitaphs from the Abyss.
Yeah, so these are like new EC stories. They did a free comic book day issue as well, which again, check out my video on this later this afternoon. I'll be dropping it. My Who Won Free Comic Book Day is the title of the video. But yeah, so they're doing these new EC comics, which is giving a lot of creators a chance to just come in and do a quick little 8-page story. Like Matt Kent, Chris Condon, Charlie Adlard, Stephanie Phillips is on here, Matthew Rosenberg. I believe Jason Aaron did one even. So I really wanted to support this on single issues, but I didn't. And then they started putting out so many of them. But I am going to pick these trade paperbacks up because I want this to continue. Again, I just love the idea of the anthology comics, which I feel like is a dead art these days. And sometimes these creators that are doing these long runs of a series need to just, they might have this horror comic or horror story stuck in their brain. They just need to put it out into 8 pages and get it done with. This is that vehicle for them to do that.
Oh, for sure. Next up, we got Heaven, West Virginia trade paperback by Ravi Teixeira, $19.99, coming out on the 12th of November. This is an original graphic novel set in West Virginia. How many comics do you have that are set in West Virginia? There's my pitch for you.
It's true.
Next up, we got Hobtown Mystery Stories, Volume 3, The Secret of the Saucer, $24.99. This is by Chris Burton and Alexander Forbes, 26th of November for this one. Next, after this, we do have a Rick and Morty, Reclamania by Mark Ellerby, $19.99, collecting the 4-issue miniseries. If you're a fan of wrestling, I suppose this is a book for you. Or if a fan of Rick and Morty, there you go.
Rick and Morty and wrestling, both together.
There you go. So big fans for a lot of those. And we got Rick and Morty, the manga, Volume 2, After School Science Club at $19.99. Josh Tierney and Jay Oden, 12th of November. So
interesting enough, Rick and Morty was like when I was getting out of watching Adult Swim as well. So like I kind of missed the boat on Rick and Morty. But
never too late to get back in. Well, we have a lot of things. Right now it's basketball season.
I know Rick and Morty's up my alley. Like I love the idea. I mean, Back to the Future, I think is like the greatest movie trilogy of all time, and obviously it's kind of a spoof on that. Which Virginia has comics.
Oh my goodness. Red Coat. There you go. Red Coat has Virginia in it. All right. Next up and last is Sub-Zero Volume 3. No, this is not the Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, from creator June Per with 3 R's. I wish Omar were here. He would roll the R's. So roll the R's on the tongue. $24.99. 19th of November. Collecting episodes 46 through 66.
Of the Romantasy webtoon.
of the Romantasy webtoon. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. All right. We got Mad Cave, Vault, and Titan to round out the last. But first off, we have Mad Cave. This is July 2025. We got Beneath trade paperback by Stephen DeKnight and Michael Gatos. I love Michael Gatos. 16th of July for this one.
I wish Bunk was here for these though.
Yeah,
I won't disparage the Celtics when I say that.
Yeah, we promised we won't.
He's kept up on these. The Dick Tracy one though. Up next, I do want to read this. I love Dick Tracy. It's such a fun comic. Or back in the day, like the Charles Chester Gould stuff. But this new series I've not read yet, and I'm glad that they brought him back. I did enjoy the Mike Allred, Rich Tommaso series that came out with like 10 or so years ago, probably.
Yeah. All right, maybe I'll have to. It's Alex Segura who's on, and he's doing a lot.
And the Warren Beatty movie is super underrated.
All right, so there you go. There is an endorsement from Taylor on behalf of Bunk. We got Fate, the Wink Saga, Volume 2, The Shadow War by Olivia Quartero Briggs and Valeria Perry. 23rd of July is the release date for this at $14.99. You got a magical school there, so very much a lot like the Magic Gathering, Magic Order, I suppose. Flash Gordon Quarterly Collection, Volume 1. Mark and Draco, Dan Didio, and Dennis Culver are on this. Interesting. $17.99.
Yeah, they've been hitting up Flash Gordon quite a bit. I got the Phantom Free Comic Book Day issue from Mad Cave, and in the back they have like a Flash Gordon schedule of like all the books that are coming out for Flash Gordon.
Good for them.
And it says in the back, or one of them says in November there'll be a Flash Gordon Volume 1 Deluxe Edition, which I assume would collect the first 2 trade paperbacks of the Jeremy Adams series.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'm going to wait to pick up that because I like Jeremy Adams and I love Flash Gordon.
I've heard for nothing but good things about the Flash Gordon run that he's doing. He's having a lot of fun on it too. So
yeah, no, Low Hit he's in the chat earlier. He loves that series. But this though, is this like the same continuity or is this like, I know it says one shots, but
yeah, it's supposed to flesh out the world that Jeremy Adams is building. So
interesting.
Next up, we got Gotcha Man, Only One Earth trade paperback by Nuno Plati and Tommy Lee Edwards, $17.99, 30th of July. Apparently, Global Comics has all this. So
yeah, Gotcha Man. I read the Free Comic Book Day last year that came out with it, and it seemed really cool. And I missed the boat on picking up the collections. I think it was the Colin Bunn. I think it's the next book.
Colin Bunn. Yeah, Chris Bautista 7 coming out on the 9th of July, $17.99.
Yeah, so I need to go in Global Comics and read these because I really like that first issue.
Okay.
Or the Free Comic Book Day issue I read.
Good job, Colin Bunn.
Oh, Spectrum.
Sorry. Have you seen these crazy interviews that Warren Beatty does as Dick Tracy on Turner Classic Movies? He does them to keep the movie right. They're bizarre.
I've heard of them, Mike, but I've not seen them. But yeah, Warren Beatty's trying to keep that's how he keeps the film rights to Dick Tracy, which is weird. I don't know why he doesn't produce. I think it's like a weird thing where he wants there to be more Dick Tracy movies, but he refuses to let anybody else play Dick Tracy besides himself. The Spectrum. This is a series that Bunk's been going on about, right? Yeah, so this is finally being collected in trade paperback. So if you like the same taste of comics as Bunk on his channel, then maybe you'll like Spectrum. I do want to try it out because I do appreciate Bunk's opinion on comics, and I value that, and I will give this a shot.
There we go. I mean, the cover just looks cool too. I like.
It does for sure.
Yeah, I love it. Next up, and last but not least, we do have Theory of KO, Volume 1 by Matthew Reynes. You got a 15 Years Later book with Chaos. $10.99 coming out on the 16th of July.
Looks like a fun fight comic.
Indeed. Got a quest. Look at that. Young Orphan. There you go. It's Batman without the Batman.
Yeah, maybe manga inspired.
Yeah, manga inspired. Yeah. Very much a manga inspired cover. So. All right, and that is going to be it for Mad Cave, and we got 2 more, and then we are wrapping this up. First of which, and the last of which, for Vault is Muddy Waters 2 by Redman and Ben Katzner and Geo Gant, $19.99. This is another original graphic novel.
Is it like YA? It looks like okay.
Yeah.
looks interesting.
I recognize the letter and world design. I don't know the other creators though, but I do recognize and world. I don't know why I do. I just do. Um, and then last but not least, we do have Titan to run through, and that will be it for this stream. We got Minky Woodcock, The Girl Called Cthulhu by Cynthia Von Bueller. This is a part of the Hard Case Crime imprint at 112 pages, $24.99 on sale on the 9th of July, collecting the 4-issue series of The Girl Called Cthulhu.
This is a series I definitely need to try out. It's got World War II, Lovecraft. Like, these are all things that Aleister Crowley. These are all things that I'm definitely intrigued by. Maybe also I should put this in my 31 Days of Horror in October.
Yeah, it looks like literally right up your alley. So
yeah, so maybe I'll try this out as well.
And then last but not least for the hardcovers, we do have Lenore, The Time War by Roman Durge, 112 pages, $24.99. Rosario Dawson from Star Wars and Daredevil says, I love Lenore. This is a 3-issue series and collects Lenore 12 as well.
Rosario Dawson with the blurb there. That's intriguing.
In all caps too. Look at that. Exclamation point. We do have a couple of trade paperbacks. The first of which is definitely a Just book. This is Heatseeker Combustion. I do get I have read the first Heatseeker, and I've also read all of the Gun Honey books, as weird as it is for me to say about that, but I do enjoy these. I read Gun Honey primarily because the artist was Malaysian. I don't know who Ace Continuado is, but it's a nice continuation of the universe, if that's what you want to call it. So if you like Pulp Fiction, I think this is definitely going to be right up your alley.
Yeah, and I do. I love that kind of those kind of stories, and I just, again, I've been late on the Gun Honey Heatseeker stuff. I know, again, Low Hit in the chat loves, swears by everything to do with Gun Honey. So,
believe it or not, that was literally the first thing I was looking at. The story with me and that is I was working at the comic shop, and we had the first issue on the shelves. And I was purposely just trying to avoid all the things that weren't, I'll just say word for me. And then my boss, not the owner of the comic shop, but the person who sort of runs the orders and all that other stuff, turned to a page where he was like, no, you're not reading this for that, Dom. You're reading this for this. And it was, I'll just say a very revealing panel of a person. So yeah, it's fun though. I do enjoy the Gun Honey and Heatseeker book. So if this is something you're looking for, and I typically don't endorse these types of books, but if that's something that you want, I would suggest getting into it.
There's comics for everybody.
Indeed. This is definitely a comic for everybody though, which is Peanuts, All This, and Snoopy 2 by Charles Schultz, and 128 pages, $7.99. This is a very nice and tiny book, but
yeah, I didn't know this format still existed. This is a format that existed back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, where it's you would take comic strips and then that are 4 panels together, but then you'd cut them and put 2 panels up top and 2 panels up bottom, and then put them in these small little trade paperbacks. I didn't know that people still did these. Obviously, Titan has the ability to. I thought Fantagraphics had the exclusive rights to Peanuts, but maybe they're doing.
Yeah, Titan's also done a small handful of Peanuts books as well.
Yeah, maybe they're doing this format or something, but very cool format.
Indeed, and also, hi Harvey, Peeker's Ghost.
Hey, where you been?
We have missed you immensely, hyping up in the chat. We're glad to see you here. No Conan. Interestingly enough, no Conan at all in these solicitations. Because the next couple of ones we do have are manga. Cosmic Censorship Volume 1, 256 pages, $12.99. Mecha Mastermind. Ryu Ichi Sadamatsu creates a world threatened by destructive forces and formidable foes. I like the cover. That's a cover made for me.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Next up on the list, we do have Welcome to Ghost Mansion Volume 2 by Nebukuro. $12.99, 192 pages. This is a horror manga, as you can maybe see from what is behind the window there. Welcome to Ghost Mansion, also again in the title. Two more. Yeah.
Adam, the beginning. This is the origin story of Astro Boy. James, here's another plug for you. I did the video on the first volume of this. But it's fun. It's a fun take on. But I've been on a fun take on the Astro Boy mythos and a lot of fun artwork and stuff. I've only read that first volume, but it did end on a cliffhanger. So I'm looking. None of my library system. I check out books where like your library will ship books from other libraries or whatever. But none of the libraries in my system have volumes 2, 3, or 4, which is frustrating. They only have volumes 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I want to continue reading that.
He wants to continue reading them, and you got volume 4, which is coming on the 25th of June. And last but not least for this round of solicitations is Corpse Blade by Hajime Sagawa, $12.99, 192 pages. You got a long lost sister. What else would you otherwise want in a manga? And that is what we do have for this round of solicitations. I think this is the quickest that we've gone through, like all the 10 publishers. The span of 1.5 hours, I will say. Got a pat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's even with the first 10 minutes being shaved off the video.
I know, which is crazy to think about. Also, hello, Andres.
Hey.
Good to see you. But that's going to be it from the both of us. It is a school day, and this is the last 2 weeks of the semester before I'm finally free, before even more intern work and studying at other places that I don't know if I want to talk about right now because I have 15 billion pots in the pan, it feels like. But Taylor, thank you for joining me today. This was always fun, as always, to rag on about how much the Celtics suck in these 1.5
without Bunk here to defend himself.
So,
and I'm going to be uploading my video on Who Won Free Comic Book Day. It'll be coming up within the next hour on my channel. Taylor Talks Comics. Go over there, subscribe, please.
Hey, you know, I hate YouTube titles. That's all I'm going to say. Because it's been really hard trying to figure out how best to word everything while maintaining live audience membership, new audiences, and everything else. So that has been a nightmare, but otherwise, you can go check out Mr. Taylor at all the links down below, Discord, and of course, you can check me out. I have a video coming out tomorrow detailing my experience working and helping out at Free Comic Book Day, talk to the people, and just overall like how our shop does it at a brand new location. You can also check out all these solicitations at comicreleases.com. If you click on the solicitations tab, it'll take you to July 2025, where you can not only view these, but you'll also view the single issue solicitations along with both Marvel and DC. So not just from the trade paperbacks and all the collected editions. We also do have a Patreon, $2 a month. We'll get you an entire watch list for people. And if you also just want to help support us and server costs, because this is definitely not cheap to discuss. We also have the Discord. And yes, if you have not yet, guys, please hit the thumbs up. We will see you in the next round of solicitations next month. Joe will be back, and we will catch you guys later.
Go Pacers!